last week, the Defence Secretary and the Minister for the Armed Forces quit the government because they know those warnings were true, and they were no longer willing to defend the indefensible.
What happens when the people inside the system admit the system is lying? It's not a hypothetical. The men tasked with defending the nation just walked out because the money isn't there.
Do we need to spend more on defence? Yes. Does the Prime Minister and the Chancellor agree? Yes. Are we spending more? Yes. This year's defence budget is £11 billion more than the final year under the Conservatives. Are we learning the lessons from Ukraine? Yes. Are we retiring old kit to invest in new capabilities? Yes.
Yes, 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 yes. A script designed to project confidence while the actual funding collapses behind the curtain. When the words don't match the balance sheet, the confidence is a con.
First, the government must at a minimum find the £28 billion that the Chief of the Defence Staff has said is needed. Will they?
28 billion. The military put the number in black and white. The minister standing here has neither the authority to spend it nor the courage to resign. Share this video right now. Hit subscribe to stay vigilant. And let's watch the hollowing out in real time.
Come to the urgent question. Leader of the opposition, Kemi Badenoch.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. To ask the Secretary of State for Defence if he will make a statement on the effect of the delay of the Defence Investment Plan on our armed forces' ability to defend the United Kingdom.
Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Before I turn to the matter before us, the whole House will want to join me in recognising the remarkable work of our armed forces this weekend. In the Channel, UK forces boarded a sanctioned vessel from Russia's Shadow Fleet to disrupt the flow of funds to Putin's illegal war in Ukraine. The Defence Secretary will be making a statement on that shortly. Mr. Speaker, these are extraordinary times for defence. The threats are real and they're increasing. It's no secret that I worked in lockstep with the former Defence Secretary. He is a friend and mentor. I was his deputy and I'm still standing here because he asked me to stay and because we need continuity in this complex and difficult operational environment. The DIP will be published before the NATO summit. Do we need to spend more on defence? Yes. Does the Prime Minister and the Chancellor agree? Yes. Are we spending more? Yes. This year's defence budget is £11 billion more than the final year under the Conservatives. Are we learning the lessons from Ukraine? Yes. Are we retiring old kit to invest in new capabilities? Yes. Are we backing our people? Yes. The biggest pay rise in 20 years, a £9 billion plan to fix the defence housing crisis we inherited, and it's working. Intake is up 11.6%, outflow down 8.9%, and morale is up. And to answer her question directly, if asked to fight tonight, could our forces defend the UK? Yes. And they already do every single day. Are we planning to increase their capabilities to deter and defend the UK and our allies? Yes, we are. Would I like to go further? Of course. The new Defence Secretary has stepped up to serve, as he has done before, sleeves rolled up and determined to meet the moment to get defence the best deal. And let me say plainly, I know the PM is committed to do so as well. He said in Munich, to meet the wider threat, it is clear that we are going to have to spend more faster. And at the weekend, he said, 3% in the next Parliament, defence will be the #1 priority at every spending review, including the next spending review. The disagreement in recent weeks was never about whether we should fund our forces. It's about how fast we increase the spending for defence and on what capabilities. And that's a serious argument to have. And I make no apology for pushing hard within the government to win it. That is the job. But the job is also a team sport, and that's why the MOD, with the new Defence Secretary, is working with the Treasury, other government departments and Number 10 to get this right.
Kemi Badenoch.
Mr. Speaker, it speaks volumes that a junior minister has been sent to answer this question today. If the new Defence Secretary is too scared to face tough questions at the dispatch box, waiting for an easier statement later, then I don't have much confidence in him facing down the threat from Russia. It has been 2 years since Labour paused the Conservatives' plan to fund our armed forces. A year since their strategic defence review. A year since their strategic defence review. We have been warning that the delays to the defence investment plan were...
Order. People have gone onto the front bench. Don't bring the backbench habits to the front bench, please.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. We have been warning that the delays to the Defence Investment Plan were making our troops and our country less safe. Last week, the Defence Secretary and the Minister for the Armed Forces quit the government because they know those warnings were true, and they were no longer willing to defend the indefensible. They have done the honourable thing by resigning. It could not have been easy for the former Defence Secretary, a Labour man through and through, when he said, and I quote, "I am being forced to make decisions that would increase the risk to personnel on operations and could make the country less safe." That is absolutely shocking. What on earth is the government playing at? The statement that the Minister has just given shows that the government are still in denial. He did not say that there would be extra money for the Defence Investment Plan, as his former mentor, so he says, asked for. The Prime Minister needs to tell the Chancellor to find the money. The answer is to cut the welfare budget. And I am willing to lend the government 116 votes to do just that, because I know they won't do it, on the proviso that the Defence Investment Plan meets 3 simple tests. First, the government must at a minimum find the £28 billion that the Chief of the Defence Staff has said is needed. Will they? Second, that funding must be provided before 2030. Will it? There's no kicking into the long grass here, Mr. Speaker. And if the answer to both questions is no, then this minister should have resigned along with his colleagues. Third, that funding must ensure we are ready to fight the wars of the future, not the past. I am sure the minister will now stand up and try and blame this situation on Conservative governments, forgetting that these are new threats, not past threats. This government needs to stop wasting time and do what is necessary to keep the British people safe today.
Minister.
Well, can I thank the right honourable lady for her question and for the tone in which she's asked it. We often have a lot of shouting from her front bench, but I appreciate the professionalism and calm that she asked those questions. Let me be very clear.
Order. I think those two just want to spoil it. I'm sure they won't, Minister.
Mr. Speaker, let me be very clear. The Defence Secretary is currently with His Majesty the King and will be in the House this afternoon making a statement on the operations over the weekend. I have to say, I recognise that she got her revenge in early by saying, I will seek to blame it on the Conservatives. Let me be very clear. The right honourable lady will know that we inherited forces that have been hollowed out and underfunded by the Conservatives, that we inherited defence housing, where families were being asked to sleep in bedrooms with black mould, leaky roofs and broken boilers, that 47 of 49 major defence programmes we inherited at the general election were over budget and unfunded. However, we've also been very clear that we are increasing defence spending. I appreciate that she had a pre-scripted questions, but if she listened to what I said at the start, she would know that we're increasing defence spending, an extra £11 billion.
Order. I think you've just proved the point. When you request an urgent question and the question's been asked, allow the Minister to ask without comment, without two of you, either side, chipping in. I don't need it, you don't want it, so I'm not being funny. This affects all our constituencies and our constituents. So please, Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. We are increasing defence spending. The budget this year is £11 billion more than the budget in the last year of the Conservative government. We are ending that hollowing out, but of course I want more money in the defence budget. It's a case that we continue to make as the profile of defence spending increases. I welcome a debate that says what capabilities will we spend that increasing defence funding on? And she is right when she says we need to fight the wars of tomorrow. That's why we're investing in more autonomy. That's why we're investing in more drones, a hybrid navy, and the increased stockpiles that we need to deter Russian aggression. There's more work to do, and the new Defence Secretary is working with his sleeves rolled up to deliver the best deal that we can, and we will publish the Defence Investment Plan ahead of the NATO summit.
So here is the question, and I am pinning the best comment. When the men on the inside admit the country is less safe and the minister just reads the script, which do you choose? A government that lies about the funding or an opposition that demands the £28 billion? Leave your answer below. Subscribe and bring someone who still thinks this doesn't affect them.